accompanied by Hadley McCarroll. Please welcome Alex Taite.
From the sea, but there's Our big hotel on a hilltop heights. But since I was a boy, I've been dreaming of nights in New York and the New York lights. New York is always my dream, a shiny dream from afar, where the bright lights are, those New York
first day here.
Yeah, I started working here in 2012. But the first time that we worked together was with Todd Jolly.
Yeah.
Doing the, it was like a jazz
mass. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fun.
That was a while ago.
That was.
So, I don't know a lot about your history. Tell me about, so you grew up here in the Bay Area?
Yeah, I was born here in Oakland.
Okay, Oakland, all right.
Yeah, baby.
So tell us about your sort of musical journey from the very beginnings to where you are now.
That's a long journey. So I always like to talk about one of my first memories as a kid was of me singing. I borrowed a tape from my mom. She never got that tape back. But I would use that tape to stay up late at night listening to this music. It was a Christian a cappella group. And I would learn all the parts of all the songs. And I would just sit there in my bed under the covers and play the tape over and over and over again, singing along all the different 4-part harmonies. And I would just learn the harmonies. I was probably like 8, I think. You know, trying to sing so as a little 8-year-old. And then I started singing in church soon thereafter, and sing on their praise team, and I lead worship there still sometimes too. I started playing piano around that same time at around 8 or so. My uncle was my first piano teacher, and he lived like 5 or 6 blocks from my house. So at 8 years old, just walk through the neighborhood to my uncle's house for my piano lessons. And then I joined the Lucy Kinchin Chorale. She recruited me from Laney, where I was doing concurrent enrollment for a while before I went off to college, where I studied music theory and vocal performance and jazz piano.
And where did you go to college?
Pepperdine.
Oh, okay.
I went
Nice.
to Pepperdine University down in Malibu. And then graduated from there, auditioned for the San Francisco Opera, and sang with San Francisco Opera for 17 years.
Wow.
I taught at OSA for a few years during that time, for about 4 years. And I started teaching private lessons and all of that, and so there's a lot of other details in the middle of that, but those are the broad strokes.
Yeah. And so you do a lot of different styles of music.
I do.
Tell us about
I
that.
do. Studied classical voice and opera, which is what I started with, because that's the hardest stuff. So I get that out of the way, and then I can trash my voice on the other stuff later. And I do some jazz. I studied a lot of jazz piano in college, and so I learned how to play and accompany myself. And I also have a one-man show of Negro spirituals that I arranged. I was inspired to create this show when I joined the Lucy Kinchin Chorale. So that's a chorus based here in Oakland, started by the late Lucy Kinchin, who was technically my first voice teacher. She taught group voice classes at Laney College, and then recruited me into this chorale that she started that focuses on the Negro spiritual. So we did a lot of Hogan and a lot of Harrison and Burley and all the big names in the spirituals world. And so I did a lot of work with them and have since gone back to join them a few years since I graduated here and there. And I also did barbershop quartet in college. I sang in the Taite worship group in college as well, so I got to sing a lot of like meditative Taite music, it's sort of Baroque style singing. And then studying piano, I studied all kinds of genres from Mozart to what's his name? Joplin. And
What's his name?
what's his name? So there's a lot of music in there. I'm hard pressed to find a genre of music that I don't appreciate in some way. I like it all.
Yeah. So what is your next set for us?
Well, my next set is a little bit of musical theater and a little bit of jazz. Hadley here is been gracious enough to join me for the first one, and then I will kick her off. No, I will trade places with her and just play and sing for the rest of the show.
Great.
So we got Make Them Hear You. Yeah.
Go out and tell our story. Let it echo far and wide. Make them hear you. Make them hear you. How justice was our battle, and how justice was denied. Make them hear you. Make them hear you. And say to those who blame us for the way we chose to fight, that sometimes there are battles which are more than black or white. And I could not put down my sword when justice was my right. Make them hear you. Make them hear you. Go out and tell our story to your daughters and your sons. Make them hear you. Make them hear you. And tell them in our struggle we were not the only ones. Make them hear you. Make them hear you. Your sword can be a sermon or the power of the pen. Teach every child to raise its voice, and then, my brothers, then will justice be demanded by 10 million righteous men. Make them hear you. When they hear you, I'll be near you again. Hadley McCarroll.
Thank you, Hadley. All right, what's next? Oh, yeah. Some say I don't need this. But I'll just use it occasionally.
There's an old man called the Mississippi. That's the old man that I long to be.
also sings different styles of music. I'm often in those different contexts seen as, say for example, in the classical setting, I'm known as the jazz singer who sings classical. In the jazz setting, I'm known as the classical singer who sings jazz. Have you come across that? And
not overtly
yeah.
to my face.
Yeah.
I don't know what people say behind my back.
Yeah.
I have some friends here in the music world with me, so maybe you can enlighten me on what my reputation is behind my back. But no, for the most part, people just ask me if I'm a tenor. And then I say, well, it depends on what I'm singing.
Yeah.
Because I sing operatic tenor. But if I'm singing tenor in a choir, it's just, Alex Tate and the Pips. Because it's hard to control my upper register when I get up there. So I'm more likely to sing like a baritone if I'm in choir. Or if I'm doing barbershop, then I'll sing lead or bass. So it depends.
Yeah.
And I kind of introduce myself as a singer, not necessarily as an opera singer,
Yeah.
or a spiritual singer or a jazz singer primarily. And I think, I think people just accept that as just, he's a singer.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
sings.
Yeah, and I think
Whatever.
sort of in different contexts, it's become more common, because back in the day, it's like especially a lot of classical singers, just classical.
Yeah.
Or a lot of jazz singers, just the jazz, pop singers,
Right,
etc.
right.
And I think more and more, there's a lot more sort of crossover.
Yeah.
As it were.
Yeah, and there's a lot of, I don't know, there was a lot of stigma around a classically trained voice in any other genre.
Yeah.
And I think it's
vice
because,
versa.
yes, exactly, in any other genre trying to sing classical. But I think it's more important to have good technique, and then you can just sing whatever you want.
Right.
It's like dancers. I'm
Yeah.
not a dancer, but I know some dancers. I'm married to a dancer. And I always hear about dancers you start with ballet so that you know how to move your body and you know how to do it safely. And you can dance whatever you want. And it's the same.
Yeah.
I think.
And so when you do sing kind of different genres of music, do you ever do different genres, well, aside from today, on the same concert? Do you do that often, or?
Not usually. When I do my one-man show, I do spirituals and jazz, and that's about as diverse as it gets. But when you see the show, it's not really a different genre. It's just a different point in the timeline.
Yeah.
So no, this is the first time I've been able to actually do everything, or some of the everything that I do in one concert. It's
Yeah.
pretty interesting. Noticing how my voice is holding up and how I had to structure the set and all of that.
Right.
Yeah.
And so to that point, when you're doing the different genres, doing the different gigs, do you consciously change any technique things, or is it more interpretive? Is it what? Or are there specific things that you do?
Well, when I'm singing opera stuff, I have to pay a lot closer attention to what I'm doing versus any other style of music. The more high notes I have to sing, the more I have to pay attention. Because I can wind up relaxing and doing something sort of by default or thoughtlessly or mindlessly, and then getting into a lot of trouble later on in the piece. Whereas if I'm not singing something hard, like this Easy Street thing, I wasn't thinking about what I was singing at all, or how I was singing necessarily. I was more focused on what I was doing with my hands, because it's not as hard to sing vocally. Now that's not to say that I ever want to sing without technique, but I think I focus on it more in some cases than in others.
Yeah. And have you noticed a change in your technique through the years, doing the different styles, or?
Yeah, my technique, I mean, any great singer will say that they never learned how to sing. They just learned how to practice. And I'm always learning new things about my voice, and I'm always discovering new ways to approach some corner or other that I had trouble with before, never had trouble with, but now suddenly there's trouble around it, and like, why is that all of a sudden showing up? And so I'm always digging in and discovering new things, and I'm always taking lessons. I still have a voice teacher. I take lessons almost twice a month now, and have been for, it's at 20 years, almost 20 years. Taking a voice lesson at least once a week, or at least twice a month for 20 years. It's a lot of work.
Yeah. And you mentioned that you teach. Do you do private lessons, classrooms?
I
You said
teach.
you taught at OSA.
I taught at OSA for 4 years, but I also teach private voice lessons and private piano lessons. I direct a chorus out in Dublin, so there's some like group voice teaching that goes on there. It's a community course, so there's no audition at all. We just show up and take a voice lesson and learn with 70 other people.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so in your private teaching, how has that affected your own singing in specific ways, or?
Yeah, well, it's always important for anyone who's trying to learn a skill to learn how to teach that skill, because you find new ways of describing something that you just sort of intuit, or you kind of learned one way, but the person you're trying to teach just doesn't get it, and you're like, how can I make this more clear? And so you wind up sort of deconstructing your technique in ways that you never would without that interaction.
Yeah.
And so being a teacher has sort of reinforced and sort of strengthened my own technique. Plus, it's a great way to get a little bit of practicing in when I don't have time to practice myself. I can just do a little bit of that technique stuff while I'm teaching.
Yeah.
And it sort of helps me. So there's sort of two ways that it has been of great benefit to me.
Yeah. And I like to ask voice teachers this: what kind of students are your favorite students?
My favorite kind of students are the ones who come in and say that they're tone deaf, that they can't sing, they can't match pitch, because I know that to be false, and I have proven it to be false multiple times. And it's my favorite to get a student coming in the door terrified, not knowing how to match a pitch at all, and working with him for 6 months to a year. And this one student I had came to me, told me that he had a reputation among his friends of being an anti-singer. Like when he sang, sound like went into a vacuum. It was like he was so mortified about his voice. And for a wedding gift, he wanted to sing to his wife on their wedding day. And we worked on a song together for 6 months, and he was pulling his hair out, but he did it. He sang the song, and it was adorable. And he started not knowing how to do anything to match pitch, and ended up singing a song for his wife 6 months later. So that is my favorite kind of student. I love that. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
So you mentioned your spirituals project. So
Yes.
talk about that.
So going through the Lucy Kinchin Chorale, I was like 15, 16 years old when I started with them. And I got introduced to the spiritual through that group. And there were things that I heard in the music that wasn't actually in the music. And so there were times when I would come home from rehearsal and sit down at the piano and try to figure out what it was I was hearing that wasn't being sung. And that started like a lifelong process of writing my own arrangements of these spirituals. Eventually I came up with enough to fill a full show. And so I have this show that takes all of the information and knowledge and techniques that I've learned from studying the spirituals, both through that course and through other courses in college, and through my own reading and research and interactions with other people that do similar things. And I created this lecture recital called Deep River, and it's the flow of Negro spirituals through time. And it takes the story of how work songs and field hollers and these pieces that were just sort of throwaway kind of past the time songs, and traces its evolution and impact in our society today that creates all of popular American music that we know. And it's the root and the foundation of anything that you would call American, from jazz to hip hop and rock and roll and country, and all of these goes back into the spiritual. And it was so, I don't know, it was so life-changing for me to discover this and to learn this, and for that to coincide with all of this inspiration to rewrite these arrangements for myself. And I just had this material sitting in front of me, and one day I was just like, what if I just did a show with all of that? Just put all that information into one package. And so this is well, it's modular, so the full-length show is about 90 minutes of just songs and speeches and stories, and then more music, and just up and down, back and forth. And it's a lot of fun to do.
That's great.
Yeah.
Do you have a few of them?
I do. That's, in fact, my last set
Okay.
is some sampling from that show.
Great.
So, put that together when I was 17 or so. And it's the title piece from my show, Deep River. The next one is one of my mom's favorites. This is Give Me Jesus. sad and somber, I have one final piece with a little bit of an up-tempo ending for us.
rituals, any things earlier in the week, the things like the day of? What do you do?
Yeah.
Does it differ depending on what you're?
Not really, no. I eat chocolate.
Okay.
And I make sure I drink a lot of water. I make sure I'm fully relieved before I get on the stage. I eat a nice, hearty, healthy, fat-filled, protein-heavy meal. Treat myself well. I get a lot of sleep. I kind of, if it's something that I'm playing, I'll sort of noodle through some of the things that I'm going to be looking at or performing, just to make sure they're fresh in my fingers. But that's about it.
Okay.
I mean, I guess that's a lot. But
And what is your favorite setting to sing in? Whether instrumentation or venue, or what's your favorite setting?
I love singing concert music solo with an orchestra.
Mm-hmm.
That is such a thrill to be a part of that. I also probably equally enjoy singing tight, close barbershop harmonies stuff. I've been in a couple of a cappella groups, both in and out of college. And it's just so fun to create all of the music with just 4 to 6 voices.
Yeah.
Everyone's responsible for their own thing. You just got to be on it, and especially when everyone is sort of at the same level and no one's like dragging it down. But having a really tight, solid, small group of singers making good harmonies, it's one of my favorites.
Yeah. And what is the first song that you sang in front of a bunch of people? And would you like to do a little rendition of that song?
Encore.
Do I know the whole thing? Probably.
Just a little.
So I was, how old was I? 10? Maybe? When I was really little, when I liberated that cassette tape from my mom, I had myself convinced that I was going to grow up to be a bass. And I was going to be a basso profondo. I was going to sing really low, and I was going to always have these low notes. And then I grew up with this voice, and I have always been a little bit disappointed. But when I was first performing, I insisted that I was a bass. I'm a bass. And so I was in this musical that my church put on that was written by this guy and his wife, and they just did this children's musical for the youth group. And I played the role of the snail, the father snail. And my son snail was impatient and always rushing around trying to do things. And I had a solo teaching him the joy of patience. And it was set way too low for my voice as a 10-year-old, but I insisted that I could do it. And so, now I have to remember how it starts. Here.
Have patience, don't be in such a hurry. When you get impatient, you only start to worry. Remember that God is patient too, and think of all the times when others had to wait for you.
Okay, now is the time we open up the floor to any questions for Alex. Anyone?
Yes.
Yeah, you have an extremely enjoyable outlook, personality, and I think people react to that right away, and at least I do.
Good.
And I find it just inspiring and enjoyable. So I'm so happy that this is my daughter and this is her friend. And I think we all felt that way, that it was just so good to hear all of this.
That's the best question I've ever gotten.
I listen to an awful lot of music, not always pop. It's opera and symphony and all kinds of things. But a person putting forth a good effort is always appreciated.
Thank you.
I just thought it was lovely.
Thank you. Yeah.
I was just, what was the title of the third song you sang?
Amor e morte.
Who wrote that?
Donizetti.
Okay. That's in the repertoire.
Yeah, it's a seldom done piece, but I like how
Oh,
I chose those 3 pieces in the beginning to give an example of the wide range of styles, even within the single genre of opera or classical singing,
yeah.
that opera singers are expected to have a mastery of. Despite besides all the languages that were represented there, you have different styles as well. So I kind of wanted to give an example of the big, robust, sort of romantic, and then the very small, intimate classical, and the modern in the middle. Yeah.
What were the names of the two first pieces?
Dein ist mein ganzes Herz
What is
is
that?
the first one.
What is that in English?
You are you are my whole heart. Yeah, it's all of the poetry is you are the heart of the song of my heart, and as the flower wilts when there is no sunshine, so do I when you are not around. It's sort of the poetry of that piece.
And the second one?
And the second one was New York Lights.
Yeah.
From A View from a Bridge.
I really like how you became the character and you know, expressed, especially the first one. I was
Yeah.
really drawn in.
Good.
Yeah.
It's working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Alex, my questions actually follow on from that. How you are so invested in the lyrics as well as the music of everything that you sing. How do you prepare a song in a language like Russian, for example, that you don't speak? A lot of operas in Russian or Czech or these languages. You feel every word. How do you prepare for that?
Very slowly. It takes a lot of time. So yeah, I don't speak Italian or German or Russian or any of the other
You would
languages.
never guess.
Yeah.
I do, and you did a fabulous
Oh,
job.
thank you. So I take the time to dismantle every piece that I sing, word for word. I literally translate every word for word,
Yes.
and I have a literal translation, and then I do a poetic translation to try and figure out why all of these verbs and nouns are in the wrong places, and I don't understand what they're conjugating or why. So I do a poetic translation then, so that I know always what I'm singing about when I'm singing it. And then the next step is then I tie that emotion or that desire or that that sort of feel that the song or the poetry is expressing to a moment in my life that I can relate to directly, personally. And that gives me a way to bring a sense of sincerity to what I'm doing, because I have something that I can relate to from what this obscure poetry, like I'm never gonna say to someone, you are my whole heart, and as the sun is gone from a flower, so I wither. Like, that's not any kind of words that I would say out loud to anyone. That's just not who I am. But I can relate to that sensation. I can feel that. And I can express that in a way that I might express it, were I to say those words.
Yes.
Yeah.
You do a fabulous job.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
I bought my ticket thinking I was going to see Deep River, and so this was an absolute treat. When is the next performance of that?
So I don't have a Deep River on the schedule. I had my last one on my schedule was last week. I did it at the library in Menlo Park. Thank you. So I am in the process now, sort of rebuilding this big push to try and get more places and more producers to book the show and put it on, because it's a lot of work to promote a show and sell the tickets and practice and do all the marketing and everything all
So
myself.
if we want to be updated, what should we do in order
Great question, Kate.
to know when the next one is?
I don't know who you are, but that's a wonderful. So I have a mailing list, and I send out updates regularly whenever they show up. Not weekly necessarily, but whenever I have a package of updates to promote, then I'll send out an email blast to everyone. It's usually like 3 or 4 times a year. And also, I am working on this is besides the point, I'm working on a songbook of all of these arrangements. So these arrangements that you heard today will be in print, and today you get the first opportunity to get on the list for a signed limited edition hard copy of these pieces. If you would like to do that, you can do that at the merch table over there. And then if you know someone or have yourself a lot of money and space, you can book my one-man show, Deep River, for you and your family and friends. Or if you have a connection to someone with a space that would like to host, I'm definitely interested in talking to them. Yeah.
So something I really enjoy in singers and like in terms of like strengths and stuff is breath control. And I noticed that's definitely a strong suit of yours, especially in your first set.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, as a singer myself, especially one who has to do, you know, full body dances on stage for every song, what piece of advice would you give in terms of like breath control and staying on pitch while moving around?
Swimming.
Swimming? Oh.
Swimming for distance. Be in the pool swimming hard and fast for an hour at a time. Probably 3 to 4 times a week.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
That's a specific answer.
Well, it's the simplest answer that I can give. There's a lot of other things, technique-wise and body-wise, that you'll need to work on. But to build lung capacity and to learn the breath control and to build your stamina and all of those things, swimming is and low impact on the whole body, and it helps keep muscles toned and lean, and keeps your cardiovascular health really high. So you'll be able to move a lot without losing breath because you're used to it from all the swimming you're doing. I know that to be true because I was on the swim team for 8-9 years as a kid. And then I started those voice lessons with Lucy Kinchin at Laney College. And we would always do these exercises, and I would always, these are not hard. Why can no one do this? And we were doing this hissing drill where everyone would stand up and do some stretches, and then how long can you hiss? And we'd all stare at the clock, and we'd hiss, and I'd be the last one hissing while everyone else was like panting and double over out of breath. And it was because I did 8 years of swimming up to that point. Competitive swimming. So it's really good for your cardiovascular health and breath support.
Any other questions? No? Well, this is the point where I get to sing with Alex. Do you want to say anything about this one we're about to do here?
This is a world premiere. No one outside of this room has ever heard this song before.
Okay.
Or this arrangement, I should say. This arrangement is a world premiere.
No pressure.
So, no pressure. Also, enjoy. This is a unique experience just for you.
Oh, fix me. Oh, fix me. Oh, fix me. Fix me, Jesus, fix me. Fix me for my long white robe. Fix me, Jesus, fix me. Fix me for my star.